Good evening, Darren. A video is a great idea. I can give you a little tour of my Plex setup on my Synology NAS, and you can do some comparisons, and neither one of us will have to assume how we match the other. I know you might be making a video yourself, so I've got Plex opened in like a Chrome shortcut, Chrome app, and so is Synology DSM. I'm running elementary OS on my desktop computer. It's an Ubuntu based Linux distro, so it may look like a Mac, but it's Linux. So you can see I have two volumes. This is my expansion unit and this is my DS1019 Plus. So if we go into Package Center, this Plex is installed from Plex's website for the Synology DSM 6. Well, it's just marked Synology. The install for DSM 7 is marked separate, and this is the last current update. So let's start with File Station. I didn't do much prep. I followed some guide, and I keep my Plex media in two different folders. This Plex folder is on my first volume, and Plex 2 is on my second volume. And I have a lot of different folders here. Not everything's a library folder, but most are. And then on the second volume, again, not everything's a library folder, but most are. If I want to do a little bit of work before moving something into a library folder, but do it on the NAS, there's a working folder. I'm starting to put some TV shows on the second volume, only a few so far. If I want to create a test movie library, I can just drop folders in here or files in here, just that sort of thing. But most of these are folders, or libraries, I mean. So let's see what else you can check. If we go to Control Panel, and I go to Shared Folder, and I find Plex here, and I go into Edit and go to Permissions, I give myself read and write permissions to the Plex folder. Each time I update Plex, I have to re-enable this. By default, the admin and the Plex stays enabled. So every time I update Plex, I give myself permission again. I don't know how to make that stick, but it's simple and easy to do. So what I'm wondering, are you running the server right on your Synology NAS, or is your server someplace else with your files only on your NAS? I'm assuming it's just like I'm doing it. So this is stupidly simple. I created media folders. I have permission to them, and Plex has permission to them. And if you go back into Package Center, there's no options with Plex. It's all through the web browser. It's either stop or uninstall or start. And if I open it, well, I open up a direct connection with the IP address, but I'm going to access it via app.plex.tv, because that's just what I've created the Chrome shortcut with. So let's see if this is similar. So you saw my Plex directories. So if I edit my movie library, go to Manage Library and Edit, and go to Folders, this is my original path, and this is the second path to the second volume. So it's Volume 1, Plex, my movie collection. Volume 2, Plex 2, my movie collection. And if I add, this is what I see. I click on Volume 1 or Volume 2, go to the media folder and click on whatever library I want. So hopefully yours looks very similar. It'll be this Volume 1 and whatever your master media folder was that you've given permission to, like we showed earlier. And that's about it. That is my Plex server. I do have library scanning automatically, so if I drop a movie or a TV show into one of my libraries, Plex automatically scans. I do not have automatic scanning set up for my music library. I scan that manually. So right now I'm not really sure what else to show you because, well, all right, let's just talk about Plex for a second with libraries. I'm also assuming that you're running the latest additions to a movie or TV show library. Like if you created a movie library right now, I would expect that it'd be using all the default settings, like Plex Movie Scanner, Plex Movie Agent. There's really nothing I've changed from default with these, even though I've been running it for 3 years. I've upgraded to everything that Plex has is the latest, greatest, and if I set up a new library, all these settings would be the same as a new library. The only change I make is to my TV show libraries. Because I use TVDB as my naming source, and I don't use TMDB as my naming source for TV show episodes, I make this one little change. Did I go by it? I changed the episode ordering to the TVDB as opposed to the default movie database. Why I do that? Occasionally specials are different between the two databases, and I don't name to the movie database. Let's open up both of these. And let's use a favorite example. Let's use Shameless. So there's two Shamelesses. The original UK show and then the Showtime show in the US. Well, if I click on this one, the movie database adds the year to every TV show just like it does for movies. Oops. And if I click on the later revision, again the year is right there. So let's do the same thing here. So you'll see the original UK one, because it came first, it just gets the default Shameless title. There is no year added. Because the US version came second, it gets to have US in parentheses. Now the reverse is true. If a show is on in the US first and then it's remade for the UK market, it will then get the UK denotion. So there's no year here. So my show folders are named to this standard, and of course this proper show name goes into my episode too. And let me just go in here. Again, if the two databases are going to disagree, it's just on how they're named slightly different and the specials. Like, I don't have any of these specials, and I'm not sure. This is kind of different. It's specials here, but it's named Specials-Hall of Shame here. I guess this just recognizes that the little bit of extra episodes they had as this series was ending had a proper name. But I imagine you just put them in a plain specials folder and you wouldn't have to name it as it's displayed here. So anyway, if the two databases are going to disagree, it's probably over specials. Every once in a blue moon, a second season of a show will come out that's maybe delayed by 3 or 4 years. It might be season 2 here, and it might be its own show at the movie database. But that is a rarity and not something that happens often. So let me know if you see some area with these basic settings where your server disagrees with how mine's set up. And that'd be a good jumping off point. And I'm not a pro YouTuber. I just make videos to try to help other Plex users out. Sometimes for a wide audience, sometimes just for the single guy like you. Hope this is helpful.